Snap just launched some new XR glasses called Specs, and they might look like something that would compete with Meta's Ray-Bans or the upcoming Android XR glasses we know Google is launching at some point this year. However, Snap would argue that they are actually competing against headsets, like the Apple Vision Pro and the Galaxy XR. Those are headset-style devices that are designed to cover your face entirely and not be super comfortable to wear for a long period of time. But the fact that Snap wants to compete against those types of devices explains why the Snap Specs are so expensive. They start at $2,195, which is a lot of money. Because these are a brand new category of device and they are so expensive, this represents a moonshot from Snap, and it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out for them. I got to see Snap launch Specs here at Augmented World Expo in Long Beach, California, and I want to talk about three things. I want to talk about what they are, what makes them different, and whether or not I think Snap is going to be successful with them. So the best way to think about this is to use this chart that Evan Spiegel, the co-founder and CEO of Snap, showed on stage during the launch of Specs. So on one side of the axis, you have headsets. These are extremely capable devices, but they take you out of the real world by completely covering your face and are not comfortable to wear for long periods of time. On the other side of the axis, you have things like Meta's Ray-Bans. These are very comfortable to wear, but they're not super capable. But they do allow you to be in the real world because they have clear lenses on the front. So what Snap is trying to do is bring in the best of both worlds. Glasses that are lightweight enough that you can wear them all day, clear lenses so you have a full view of what's going on around you in the world, but just as capable as those headsets like the Galaxy XR and of course the Apple Vision Pro. Honestly, this is a bold move. It's a dangerous move that might not work out for them, but I'll touch on that in a bit. Specs are available in two sizes, with the 47mm model weighing 132 grams and the 52mm model weighing 136 grams. Just to put those numbers into perspective, that's about 500 grams lighter than the Vision Pro and about 400 grams lighter than the Galaxy XR. So yeah, significantly lighter headset. The lenses in Specs are easily put in and taken out. This is really advantageous because it will allow you to take them out and share them with your friends. So you can be wearing them all day and then say, hey, check this out, take out your lenses, give it to the friend, they check it out, and then you pop the lenses back in and you're good to go for the rest of the day. The lenses are electrochromatic too. This enables them to go from totally transparent to tinted in about 10 seconds. This is the same technology they use on certain airplanes where you see the windows tint down when you're in a sunny area. This is great because not only will these be capable as your everyday glasses, but they'll also be capable as sunglasses, so you can wear them, once again, all day, which is what Snap is envisioning you'll do. When you're wearing Specs, you are looking through Snap's proprietary liquid crystal on silicon display with a 51-degree field of view and 16 million colors. Snap says this is equivalent to looking at a 24-inch monitor right in front of you or a 115-inch cinema display several feet in front of you. Powering all of this are two Qualcomm Snapdragon chipsets. Now, I know what you're going to say, which chipsets are they? And unfortunately, Snap wouldn't tell us, but there are two of them. One of them controls spatial reasoning, so it's the one using the cameras on the outside of the glasses to determine what's going on in the real world around you. The other chip is running the software, and that is built on something that Snap calls lenses, which is basically the apps that appear on Snap Specs. So that brings up an important thing to know about Specs, which is that everything is happening on device. You'll notice that there's no tether to a puck like you see on the Galaxy XR or the Apple Vision Pro. That just isn't necessary because the battery and all the compute power is in the glasses themselves. When you're wearing Specs and using one of these lens apps, you'll see things happening around you in the real world. It could be graphics for a game, or it could be content that you're watching from YouTube or something along those lines. It could also be things that are helping you learn, like training yourself to play the drums. These graphical elements that you see happening on your glasses can be locked in the real world. Just as an example, you could be in the back seat of a car watching a movie on a virtual screen in your lenses. You could lock it to the back of the seat in front of you, turn your head to look out the window, and then turn back, and the image of what you're watching will not have moved because it is locked in real real space. Snap didn't make any announcements about how many lenses there will be available for the Snap Specs when it comes out, but there are over 450,000 lenses that already exist. However, it should be noted that these are mostly for the Snapchat app, which you find on smartphones. Snap also didn't talk about how you're going to get these lenses. I assume there's going to be some sort of app store that you'll access, and there'll be paid apps and free apps and all sorts of things like that, but it didn't have anything to say about that at the keynote and didn't show us any imagery of it. Whatever the case, Snap says that these can last for about 4 hours with mixed use. That includes audio and video streaming, that includes Bluetooth notifications from your smartphone, AI interaction with an assistant, and much more. There's also an included charging case that when you put the glasses in and recharge them gives you an extra 20 hours of use. So theoretically, with the case, you could get up to 24 hours of use from these glasses without needing a wall outlet. You can also charge the specs directly with a cable that magnetically attaches to the stems. This also has USB-C connectivity to it, so you could connect the glasses to something like a Nintendo Switch and then play your games on the go with a giant screen in front of you. Of course, you're probably concerned about privacy. The way the lenses are designed, no one can see what you're seeing through the glasses, which is really helpful. And just like most other glasses we see on the market today, there's a light on the front that lights up if you're recording something so that everyone around you knows they are being recorded. This is pretty typical for glasses of this category, but it is good to see that Snap is taking privacy at least somewhat seriously. At $2,195, this is not the device that you just go to a store and pick up one day. This is something you have to consciously decide to buy. But remember, Snap is not positioning these as a competitor to something like the Meta Ray-Bans. It's positioning it as a competitor to the Galaxy XR. When you think about it that way, the Galaxy XR is not much less expensive than what these will cost you. Considering you'll be able to take these to more places and you can keep them on for a longer period of time and continue to experience the real world around you, that makes them pretty appealing if you are someone who is thinking about getting a Galaxy XR. So that brings me to the last topic, which is whether or not I think these will be successful. The way I see it, there are 3 things working against Snap Specs. The first is that they are too big. They say on stage that they look just like regular glasses, and the fact that they only weigh a certain amount of grams makes them feel really nice to wear them on your face all day, but when it comes right down to it, just looking at them, you can tell these do not look like regular glasses. They are very big, very chunky, and look a little awkward. This is something that's going to be hard for Snap to overcome. They can say over and over again that they look and feel like regular glasses, but when everyone else sees them, they're not going to agree with that. The second thing is the obvious one, which is the price. This is a very expensive product, and it's something that's not essential to our lives. This is not a smartphone, it's not a laptop, it's not something that you need to use every day for your day-to-day life. This is a thing that you buy in addition to those other things. And having it be so expensive makes it very difficult for me to think that lots of people out there are going to want to spend all that money on something that they don't really need. And the third problem is the audience. When I told my friends and family that I was coming to AWE and Snap was flying me out there to check out their new Snap Specs, they all said the same thing. I didn't even know Snapchat still existed. And that's because all my friends and family are old people like me, but young people still use Snapchat all the time. In fact, Snapchat is incredibly popular with Gen Z. But the problem is that I am a person who has $2,000 to spend on tech, but Gen Z isn't. So really, Snapchat's core audience, the people that keep Snapchat afloat, are not going to buy this product. So who is Snap actually going to market this to? I must admit that I respect Snap a lot for taking a moonshot like this. I know it seems counterintuitive, but a device that has no market yet, that's priced the way this one is, could end up being something revolutionary. Of course, it could also end up being a total dud that doesn't sell, but it could be something that proves what we actually want, which is a computer on our face. Not a computer that looks like the Galaxy XR, and not a weak computer like the Meta Ray-Bans, but the actual computer that we wear on our face every day. It is possible that this could be that. But I want to leave with one question for you, which is this. I am here at AWE ready to look at the Snap Specs, but I can't. Snap won't show them to me. Very few people here at the show got to actually use Snap Specs, where the rest just got to see it under a glass bowl. So what I'm asking you is if Snap is so confident that they can charge $2,195 for these glasses and that they're going to be successful, why can't I use them? If I could use them, I could talk more about how I think they're going to actually work in the market, but I can't. So that leaves me very uneasy about the success potential of these particular products. But let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments and tell me what you think is going to happen with Snap Specs.